All right, we are recording, and I will allow me to share the agenda. Okay, Bob, take it away.
This is the March 2021 meeting of the Guilford Shellfish Commission. My name is Bob Berger. I am the vice chairman. I'll be running the meeting tonight. We have an agenda which you can see in front of you. It's a pretty standard sort of list of things that we run down, and we'll just run through tonight's issues, things that need to be addressed. Do we want to vote on Mike Bowen initially? Should we do that first?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So we have an alternate member, Mike Bowen, who's been with the commission for a few months, who is now able to take the seat of one of the commission members that term limited out last month. So we should put Mike Bowen's name forward as a full commission member. All in favor of Mike becoming a full commission member?
Aye.
Aye. Aye.
Any not in favor? All right, Mike, congratulations, you're a member.
You're
Thanks,
seated,
Mike.
you're seated for this meeting, Mike.
So item number 1 on the agenda, public forum. Are there any members of the public here that wish to have anything to say to the commission?
Yes, a couple. You want me to start?
Sure, go ahead.
Mike Gordon, since you're an applicant to be on the commission, I might suggest that you allow Zach, and if Jonathan's part of the public as well, allow them to proceed, and maybe if necessary, you could add comment, but I think it's appropriate they lead the conversation.
I think that's perfect. I want to say it is two totally separate things. I have the application in to be a member, and I'd like to hope that will work out, and I can support the commission. And this is a total separate thing that I've been working on with Zach. So I'll be quiet and let him talk about what we're doing.
Okay, yeah, I think that's just to avoid whatever possible conflict of interest concerns people may have.
Okay.
Zach, go ahead. Let's hear what you have to say.
So my dad and I have been working on starting a seaweed aquaculture farm in the Guilford waters. So part of the application process is to come to the Shellfish Commission along with the Harbor Management Commission and get approval from you guys on the location that we want to put our seaweed farm. Just to give you guys some background, I know some of you know that I work on an oyster farm in Duxbury currently. And I've also got a master's degree in ocean food systems, looking at innovations in aquaculture, including shellfish, seaweed, and all kinds of finfish aquaculture as well. So this is just kind of an extension of that program, what I want to do with my dad in Guilford. So we've been talking a long time about potentially starting seaweed. It's a winter crop, so I won't be busy in Duxbury. I'll be able to come down to Guilford and maintain it. So I just wanted to propose the spot to you guys to see if you had any conflict in where we wanted to put this. So I don't know if sharing my screen to show a map is possible, or if I should just describe the location I want to go.
If you could screen share, that'd be very helpful.
Okay, cool. Let's see. So this is a PDF of the Guilford Brantford area with the classifications and all. So the area we're looking at is, sorry, let me get oriented here. So you got Indian Cove here. We are looking out. So we want to be in in approved waters, not conditionally approved. So we're looking at a 5-acre rectangle shaped lease, kind of in this area where my cursor is now. Anywhere along the edge of this border here, we'd kind of be okay with, but we kind of chose this spot because we wanted to be in Guilford town water, which is, it's just north of that line. And we just want to be in approved waters, and we're close to Brown's, the harbor that will be storing our boat to operate the farm. So it's going to be a 5-acre lease. We're just going to do, the idea is we're just going to do one 400-foot long line of kelp for the first season, and then expand that as we understand what we're doing and work out the kinks of the operation. So do you guys have any input on this location? What's good or bad about it, or if there's anything going on in that area?
Without having the map in front of me, I don't know that there's any, I don't believe there's anybody in that area that's working that piece of ground. I think it's probably available. And I think it's a problem.
It's fairly deep water out there. I guess, are you taking this before harbor management at their next meeting as well?
I hadn't planned. I was hoping to. I didn't know when that meeting was. But I was hoping to.
I just joined that commission. That is the first Wednesday of the month, I think. So you just missed it last week.
Oh man, okay.
Is that one of our areas to begin with?
Sorry, what do you mean?
Is that one of our leased areas that you're interested to begin with, or is that
We
just?
have to look at the map, John, right?
So it's not a leased area. So this map has the squares on it of all the leased areas. And there's no lease in that area right now. Talking with the state, I've been in contact with Shannon Kelly. She says that there's no reason I need to be in an already leased area or not. I can kind of just choose. And I've already shown her this spot, and from her perspective, there's nothing wrong with this location.
Yeah, so I mean, I don't know if this is a question for the commission. If he's not in a leased area, you know, are there fees paid to the town, or, I mean, is that considered our waters? I'm not clear. That's the only thing I'm not clear on.
Yeah, John, I don't believe we have jurisdiction over this case. It's a courtesy review with the Shellfish Commission. The issue that I think probably Fred, who's the harbor master, needs to look at is the navigational waterways. You know, you're adjacent to the outward buoys that people traverse. You know, just by looking at that, and I think he would want to have some eyes on that.
Yeah, so yeah, that was definitely our concern.
Yeah,
We want to kind of tuck it in as close as we can get to shore without being in conditionally approved waters. And the thing about our farm is the design is going to be so we'll have it in the water from roughly October, November until May, and we'll pull all the lines out. There'll be no lines in the summer. They'll be fully empty in the summer. So when the heavy traffic is there won't be any lines to run into.
Zach, just so you know, just so you're aware, that's a pretty in October, in November, there's a lot of people blackfish around there. Just so you're aware. I don't take issue with what you want to do at all, or I was kind of curious as to why, if it's not in one of our leased areas, and I get it now after Pete made his comment. But just so you're aware, there is people blackfishing there quite a bit.
yeah, that's
Okay.
the issue with Fred Brisbot having eyes on that as the harbor master, just to be sure he can give you some guidance if there is any potential issue with navigation.
You think it would be best to go to the meeting, or can I contact him
I'd give him a call.
individually?
Yeah, he's a
Okay.
good guy. Just give him a call. He'll give you some
Okay.
guidance.
All right, great. All right, so yeah, I just wanted to let you guys know about that area. That's all I have.
Yeah, I mean, from at least from my perspective, and this is not the official commission perspective by any means, but from my perspective, I think it'll be fine, provided that you're not a hindrance to any kind of boat traffic. But again, not a problem.
Okay.
I would just add, if I could ask the question, we're doing this for seaweed. If down the line we wanted to add some cages for oysters and whatnot, would that then be more, appropriate for you guys to give advice, weigh in, and then, at that point, maybe we would be a revenue source for the town as well, for the commission.
I think that has to go through BOA in terms of if you wanted to use the same area that's not already like an approved area that's leased through us. If that's what
Yeah,
you're-
that's correct. But if it's in town waters, which this site would be, that would be under your jurisdiction. So I'd have to be approved by you guys as well.
Yeah,
Zach.
we would establish the coordinates for a leased plot, I believe, is the way that works, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I
mean,
think I have to do a bid to the
Yep.
state for the
Correct.
lease. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, but I think it looks fine.
Okay.
And one other question, Zach. How is a kelp area defined? Are there certain buoys or markers that protrude out of the water?
Yeah, so there'd be, I think it's required by the state to have 4 marker buoys on the corners of our lease. And then for the kelp lines themselves, there'd be some surface buoys involved. But again, those would be, so it'd be basically 2 vertical lines on each end of the line, and then the horizontal line going between them would have periodic buoys on that as well. So for each line, you're talking probably 4 or 5 buoys. Again, would be in just for the winter season. All that would come out in the
Right.
summer.
There's also a requirement for, and I think Jonathan, who has his farm in, could tell us more specifically, but there's a requirement for buoys that warn people that there's a gear area, and those are placed slightly off the farm. So
Yeah.
that would be 2
Yeah.
on each side.
Yeah, I could speak to that. So they have to be around the perimeter of the operation, and they have to be no further space than every 300 feet. So on my farm, I have 6, for example. So there's basically 2 rows of 3. They're the tall white danger buoys. So it gives a good indication if somebody's coming around the area that, hey, there's something going on in here.
Yep.
And just from-
How deep are the lines, the horizontal lines?
Next question.
The goal is to be 7 feet, but that's flexible. 7 feet below.
The on the corners of it, because I Jonathan one time explained it to us, but like how far do the
Yeah.
if you have like a square or rectangle, like how long do the lines span usually?
So the shape we're proposing is a 200 by 1,000 foot rectangle, basically. And the kelp lines are going to be, we're going to start with, I think, a 400. It's not decided yet officially, but I think it's going to be around a 400 foot horizontal line for the first crop. And then we'll go up from there. We'll either add more 400 foot lines or do maybe an 800 foot line if we can manage that.
And just to chime in there, the numbers add up as being 200-foot pieces because the spools for the seed come in 200 feet. So
Correct,
it makes
yeah.
a lot of sense to use that as a measurements. Patrick Heitkamp, by the way, sorry I came in a little bit late to the meeting.
Also for perspective, the size of a 5-acre farm, I guess you guys have a better idea, but it's a pretty tiny, Zach, maybe you could just show like how small that would actually be.
I can't. I don't have
Excuse
it.
me, I need to interrupt a moment. I need the name of person who just came in and where you're from.
This is Patrick Heitkamp. I live in Guilford.
Okay,
And
You're
I'm
also-
going to have a follow-up afterwards because I'm basically calling in for the same reason that Zach and Michael are calling in, which is establishing a multi-species aquaculture farm.
thank you.
Sorry,
All
Judy.
right. I'm going to stop my screen share.
Actually, can you leave it up, Zach,
Oh.
maybe? Because while we're at it, it would be.
You know what,
it
Zach,
would make-
I can do it.
Okay, yeah. Because I have to go. So what was the name of the harbor master I should call though?
Fred Brisbois?
Okay.
I
You'll
can get you
find
that
him in
name, Zach.
the town directory.
Okay. All right, sounds good. Thank you guys for listening, and I have
Good luck, Zach.
to, thank
Right.
you.
Thanks for
Thanks,
coming
Come
in.
to Duxbury for me.
I
Look,
will.
Zach. It's pretty cool stuff. Good luck, man.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you.
See you later, Zach.
Okay. I don't know, can you guys see that?
Can you
Yeah,
maximize a
could you
little
max
bigger?
that, Mike,
Zoom
please?
in now.
Give me a minute to figure that out. I
Yeah,
think,
there's the Guilford section.
I think you want to actually max it on up the top right to maximize your full screen.
how's that?
Yeah, on the square box there.
Here?
Top right, square box.
I'm trying to show you with my cursor, but it doesn't work like that.
Yeah.
Am I not showing what you want
All the way to the top right. Go to the top right.
up here?
Yeah, top
Yeah,
right, the
higher.
box there, to
Higher, higher,
the left of the X.
cursor higher to the X. Top right corner of your window, and then that right there.
Oh,
There
There we
you
go.
go. Thank you.
I didn't understand what you were asking. Thank you, got it. Sorry about that.
So if you could go and zoom basically over to where Jonathan's farm is. Yeah, excellent. So we're right there. I'm pretty sure that everybody who's here from the Guilford Shellfish Commission knows the space pretty well. So
Jonathan's farm is right about here.
yeah, that's correct. So
Yeah.
I'm also in the process of going through the permitting to get a multi-species ocean farm. We want to start with seaweed and then eventually also have shellfish. So we will obviously have to talk to you guys and want to talk to you guys to see if it makes sense. I would like to put my 5 to 10 acre site, depending on how it all was going to come down, basically just south or maybe, so you have this site there called L46 is the vertical side. And from what I understand, that's an approved shellfish bed for the town, but that's not currently leased, correct?
But we'd have to look at our maps.
Yeah, I don't have that information in front of me.
Okay, so the idea that I had was to take either a southern kind of corner, south eastern corner of that, and have a fairly, where it's a little bit deeper there around the 15-foot mark. So it would be fairly close to Jonathan's farm because we would like to, kind of collaborate quite a bit and try and do things together. Now, if the bed would be leased, then, and if that space wouldn't be available, I would like to go just south of that, just south of L46 in that area that Michael is circling right there, basically having the same kind of spot. I don't foresee any, it shouldn't really be any problems because I'm basically going to be doing the same thing as Jonathan. So that's my plan at least, starting out with probably 4 200-foot lines in the first year for the seaweed. But I also would like to right away start experimenting at least with oysters, black mussels, and potentially some clams in mussel socks and that stuff.
Okay, yeah. Again, provided that it gets approved by the BOA, then yeah, I don't think we have a problem with that. If the spot is available, we can certainly.
And so in 46, if I would take a piece of 46, that would not have to also be approved by BOA because that's already approved,
Right,
correct?
correct. Yes.
So that would be what I would prefer. So could one of you check on what's available in the with the 46?
So more specifically, you want a
I want,
5?
yeah, if you know, if I could get the southeastern corner about 5 to 10 acres of it's basically going to be right next to your farm, Jonathan, correct?
Correct, yeah.
That would make a lot of sense because we'd actually not create another hazard for anybody in the water. It'll just be basically Jonathan's farm would appear a little bit bigger.
Okay.
In terms of gear in the water, the seaweed horizontal lines would obviously be removed just like Jonathan's at well. And I think he's talked to the sailing yacht club over there, and that seems to be okay. I would probably have the vertical gear in the water. I probably also would have obviously my shellfish gear in the water longer than, just the May date or whatever, May 15th date you have. Is that your date, Jonathan?
Yeah, that was the date Sage and Ted Yacht Club and I came up with as an end of season date.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, the clam gear and stuff and everything would be on the bottom, so I don't think that's any kind of a hazard to anybody. So yeah, we'll take a look and make sure that we have that room available at that. And you want 5 to 10 acres at the southeast corner of the L46 lot is what you're asking.
Yeah. So basically it's still right next to Leeds Rocks. Because
Yeah.
if we do that, we can start right away with the shell fishing. If not, we obviously would have a different approval process. That would be then the space right below L40 or right south of L46, basically in that corner there. And actually for seaweed, it might be a bit better because it's a little bit deeper in terms of water.
Okay.
So you might be able to grow a little bit more biomass.
Yeah, I mean, without having the commission, the chairman here, and without having the GIS maps available to us, then I can't give you a firm yes or no, but I would imagine it's going to be very possible.
So what would be my next step be for you guys?
I'm going to probably sit down with the commissioner, the chairman, Ed, when I see him, although he's hard to get these days, is working a lot.
Yeah.
To talk to him in the next several days. He and I can look at the site on the maps, the GIS maps that we have. And if it looks okay, then one of us will contact you and say, yeah, go ahead and fill out the application.
Do you want me to send you a shape file or a kind of a map with what I'm thinking via email, so you have that handy?
Sure, that would be great.
What's your email? Is it on the website, or I think it's just phone numbers on the website, right?
Yeah. I'll tell you what, I don't really want to give out my email over this public forum.
That's fine.
I'll contact you separately. We'll talk afterwards, or call me on the.
Yeah, okay, we can stay on after the call and we can exchange contact. That's fine.
Very good.
You might want to talk by phone because I'm not going to stay on and I'm hosting this.
Right.
No
Okay.
problem. I'll give you a call then, Bob, if
Thank
that's
you.
okay.
Very good. No, that's great.
I'll do that tomorrow. What's a good availability for you?
Tomorrow, I'm working most of the day, so sometime around 10 is probably the best time to find me.
Okay, I'll call you at 10.
Good.
Excellent, thank you.
Okay. Any other comments from the public? Okay, moving on to number 2. The minutes from the February 10th meeting. You should have all gotten them in your email. Anybody have any comments or corrections that they want to make for the minutes? No, everybody's okay with them? Motion to approve.
I propose we accept the minutes of the February 10th meeting.
A second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay, great. Commercial, item number 3, commercial activity and licenses. Peter Charland.
Yep, I can't report on commercial activity. Ed and I have been 2 ships in the night. We do need to connect so I can report on the status of commercial billing and activity. I do have the residential license update, which I can share. We have 1 annual residence sold by GS Shellfish for $25. Captain Morgan's from March, $1,048, 9 annual non-res, 5 annual non-res senior, 3 annual res, and 2 annual res senior. Captain Morgan for the month of February, I figured it was light. I would pick up 2 months, which I did today. That's $528, 5 annual non-res, 2 annual non-res senior, and 2 annual res. Total license revenue for the month, $1,601.
Okay. Was there anybody that was able to stop by D's or the town hall? Do we have any other licenses that we know about?
I did not go. I'll go next month. I know the fishing factory. I saw the owner the other day, but he was really busy with trout season open.
Okay, so, all right, so there's probably some more licenses out there. Our income may be a little high.
Yeah, and I
Okay.
will, I'll take care of town hall next month. I did, Captain Morgan did report there's a, big surge of activity that's just really started. This little spate of warm weather has generated a lot of activity.
Yeah, people are coming out of hibernation.
Amen.
Okay. Item number 4, bills and correspondence. I have not heard any correspondence. Ed may have received some, but again, he's not here. So what do we know about the bills?
So I do have some bills. I have Judy Castellano, Secretarial Services for January of $71. Judy Castellano, Secretarial Services for February of $71. Bob Berger, water sample of $42.48. And Alan Brown, warden fees, $120. Did not total these. But I can do that. Sorry about the delay. Total, that's not right. All that. That was way too much. Total is $304.48.
Okay. Motion to accept the bills as submitted.
I'll move to accept the bills.
Anyone second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, great. I don't know that we have any wardens here. Any wardens present?
I do have Alan's report, if I can read it. And I can't. He did have 3 days that he was checking and no violations. There were 4 clammers. On one day, there were 13, on another, and 2. So, fairly light activity for this time of year. There must have been a warm day. Valentine's Day seemed there was a little activity at Trolley Road. No violations.
And I heard Pete Beauvais, he was, I believe, at Shell Beach once or twice, and he said essentially the same thing. There was a few people clamming. Everybody was in compliance, and yeah, no issues.
I went on this past Sunday to Great Harbor, and me and the guys I was with, we were the only ones out there. There's a group of 6 of us, but no one else. It was a nice day and a good tide.
Yeah. How was clams?
Good.
Good. Being on item number 6, subcommittees. Recreation, Peter Charlin, Ed Lombard.
We have no activity to report.
Okay. Water sampling, that's me. Water sampling is current. We are up to date through the end of February. We do not have a March sample yet, but that'll probably happen one day next week. Water samples have been good. The comments were that the water quality has been actually very, very good. So yeah, sampling is current and in good shape. C, the boat. Anything to do with the boat, John, or is it just sitting there?
Just sitting there. Probably in the next few weeks, unwrap it and clean it and get it ready to go.
Right. I think it's been that time. I think when I had left it with this, the firemen on the for them taking us for sampling rides, that we would do one more in March and then probably try and get the boat in for April. So
yeah, usually we have it in within the before the usually around the first week of April, second week of April it should be in. I may try to organize a day where maybe a couple people can help wash and wax it, and I have a couple buffers. I mean, we should be able to knock it out in a few hours if the people could help.
All right. Yeah, I
So
think we.
it's taking me a whole weekend if,
Yeah, and we can send an email that, to get people together. I think the other thing, as far as the boat, when I pulled it last fall, the winch on the front may need some attention. I don't know if it needs to be replaced, but that was basically not working at all. And the trailer lights, one or both of them were shot. So we may need to do some trailer work. Item D, stock. Ed Lombard, Bob Berger. As far as I know, stocking is stocking. We have nothing current coming up. We'll probably start to do stocking in May with the oysters. And then I don't know of anything with clams from Chris Walston. So, but typically that takes place in June, July, and August.
Yep.
That should be fine.
do we usually do oysters next month?
I thought it was in May.
That was in April.
I may be wrong. I have not done an oyster stocking before. I've always done the clams, but if it's coming up next month, then we can certainly get started.
Should we bring a motion to approve an amount to spend on that? Just by chance we're going to meet the first week, but we could start looking into it now and maybe lock something in.
I have no idea what we typically spend on that. That's Ed's area of expertise. I wouldn't.
Yeah, it's a good idea, John. I also agree. If we might want to wait for Ed, I don't have the domain experience either to know what we ought to budget for or approve in advance.
Okay.
Finance, Peter.
I do not have an update of our statement from the town to report this month.
Okay. Next item, special projects. John or Peter, any?
Okay. I have something reported. Came out of land acquisition. Jack Evans over at the Yacht Club. I guess UConn is going to start studying restoration wetlands over there. So
And where is that?
Wetlands.
Where is that?
Yeah, at the Yacht Club. At the Yacht Club.
Okay.
Yacht Club.
All right. We have any interaction with them, or is that just an independent project that they're going to be doing?
I believe it's independent, but eventually they'll probably get, might be involved with some shellfish in the areas, any of the spots that are close by there. Might be digging up, might be getting some turbidity.
Yeah, we do 2 or 3 water sampling spots right inside the harbor, so that might interact with us somehow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. They're starting to study, so they haven't moved anything yet, but they're, I guess, just probably taking water samples or something right now.
Okay. Next item, signs. It's still assigned to Tony DeLucia, who is no longer a commission member. I was not here last month. Did somebody take Tony's spot on the signs, or are we sort of up in the air on that?
What was discussed last month was that Tony was going to, on a volunteer basis, continue to assist with the signs. We had not made any decision on how to address this for the future.
Okay. So
We got 2 people on the commission too.
right. I mean, we can see if we can get some new folks to maybe take that over. Again, we should probably wait for Ed to be here when we have a full commission to start assigning, things like that.
I know Alan Brown has volunteered to take care of Trolley Road.
Okay. I don't know if dividing them up is better, or if one person is taking care of all of them, so we have one person who's responsible. I'm going to defer to talking to Ed.
You agreed.
The website, any changes, Peter?
Nothing on the town website to report, other than I've kept up with Tracy on the updates to the commission members. So Bob, I did not get a notice that you've been formally reappointed, but if, assuming that's the case, I'll let Tracy know to make that update on the dates.
I have been, but that's okay.
Yeah, and I'll also speak with Tracy about those people that are no longer effective as of the end of February, that needs to be removed. Mike Bowen, I don't believe you did get an appointment to be the full commission member, so I will check on that, but as soon as I have that, I'll update that as well.
Okay, thank you.
Yep, and then, relative to Mike Gordon, he's submitted his application. I believe that Bob, I think Ed has got to provide comments back to town. And then that could proceed if all were in agreement.
Okay. All right, yeah, those are simple updates to make, so,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah,
Very
nothing to report on the Facebook page that we run. There's been, good amount of likes and people following us, but we've not really put a lot of effort in there. That's still something that we might, with the spring season around the corner, maybe we start to do something more there and generate more awareness.
Okay, yeah, I mean, we'll start to have more activity. I think there'll be more everything, people out, people taking photographs,
Yep.
more. So I'm sure that'll pick up.
Yep.
Okay. Item number 7, any updates? Land Acquisition Commission, John.
Okay, we had 2 land parcels near Mulberry Point Road that were sold off by the town. They were orphan parcels. They were sold to budding property owners. That was about it for public information.
Okay. Anything on Sea Grant Advisory?
I sent an email to Ed. They were looking for any updates we've had in any of our leases or anything like that. They were looking for information.
Oh, all right. Well, depending on how things go with Zach and his.
Correct,
Yeah.
yeah.
You may-
That's will come in, yeah. We
Okay.
can't know until that happens.
Right. The newly appointed Harbor Management Liaison, Peter.
Yeah, so we can update that and add me to the agenda and remove Keith. I did attend my first harbor management meeting in the off season. I found they're refreshingly brief. There was no activity to report. I did present from our last meeting the matter on the Trolley Road parking that we had petitioned Deep for a hearing, informal hearing, to see if we could reduce the size of that new no parking area that's adjacent to the southern part of the lot by the water. Harbor Management voted to support that request. And KJ Lee and Chris Teachin, who are the co-chairs, are now also part of the request with us to Deep for a hearing. I did speak with the local Deep officer last week before she went on vacation this week. It's with higher ups at Deep. She advised if I didn't hear anything this week, when she gets back, she will escalate that. So that's, activities proceeding, but we're doing it jointly with Harbor Management. KJ seems to know some higher ups at Deep, and he may be willing to assist us to get some visibility if we need. So
Okay.
that was the only thing we really spoke about at Harbor Management. Nothing else happening there.
Okay. Well, that would be great cooperation if we were able to do that.
Yeah, yeah, I think so. All in good spirit.
Docks, moorings, or other potentially impacting projects.
I think I also
Nothing.
covered that, but nothing from Harbor Management or from Fred Griswold.
Okay. John, did you hear anything?
Nothing, no.
All right. Old business, always on the agenda. Doesn't seem like we are still getting anywhere. The review of the Shellfish Management Plan. As far as I know, it's the same plan that is going to be updated, hopefully someday soon. It's been a year plus that they have started talking about changing our rainfall triggers to allow us to stay longer. But I have not heard any updates, and I don't believe Ed has. I have not heard anything from Ed. Item 9, any new business? No? Anybody has any new business? Item 10, adjournment. Anybody motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
I second that motion.
Very good. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay.
Bob, you at work?
I am at work. I'm in an office. So.